A few days ago, I spent 24 hours with no dopamine at all, but today I decided to do the complete opposite. I'm going to spend 24 hours overstimulating my brain, using my phone nonstop for constant stimulation. But there's one detail: I want to see how long I can last before I just break. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you which of the two extremes was worse, going without dopamine or living completely addicted to it. For us to wake up and already go straight into dopamine addiction mode, the first thing we have to do is grab our phone. And I know you do this every day, right? I also do this activity every day because it's quite an activity. Look, it burns 5 calories and 5 brain cells. I know that 90% of the people watching do this, I do this, and man, this is a crime. There are already studies saying that using your phone during the day is bad, but the worst part of using your phone is in the morning. Basically, this moment right now is the first hour I'm awake. And when we wake up, our brain is like a sponge. The first hour we experience kind of determines the rest of our day. So if I wake up here just lying around messy, not wanting to do anything, my day tends to be more like that, you know? From the moment I wake up and grab my phone, my brain already goes for the easiest source of dopamine: Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. You can watch whatever you want. And now at the start of my day, I'm gonna do that. It's funny because over time, grabbing your phone becomes automatic. It feels like it's part of you. It's like raising an arm or breathing. It feels like grabbing your phone is already linked to your body movement. And the thing about watching YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Reels is basically that dopamine hit from never knowing what the next video will be. Here's a quick comparison. It's like a slot machine at a casino. People put in 30, feel an adrenaline rush, and keep playing, eventually losing money. The difference here is you don't lose money, just memory and social life. That's the kind of reward it offers. People look for this in the morning, just lying here. I know I'm filming myself, but try to see it as if it wasn't me. I just woke up and I'm already on my phone. Consider this. If someone watched your life now, would you be the main character or just some supporting character killing time? Man, I don't know about you, but every time I wake up and use my phone, I spend some time just watching stuff, then I get up, to live the day. I already get the feeling like now I have to wait until tomorrow to be productive. I'm not gonna do anything for the rest of the day. After I wake up, I usually make breakfast. If you work out and want to be healthy, this is the breakfast for you. Just a reminder, this video isn't about eating junk food because there's also a dopamine addiction kind of related to food, Eating fried food every day, sugar, that kind of thing. I'm changing my usual eating habits and adding something new that will make a big difference. First, I'll show you my breakfast and what I recommend. Basically, grab a frying pan, some olive oil to give it that touch, You come here, look, I like this one, guys. This one is from TikTok Shop and all that stuff. Then you take 3 eggs. Basically, dopamine addiction is about not letting yourself get bored. You can't be bored. And one way for us to experience boredom now is to make this breakfast in silence. I'm gonna put on some music. The other day I watched the Michael Jackson movie everyone was talking about. I got hooked and hyper-focused on Michael Jackson. I got hyper-focused. Now I'm making breakfast and listening to music, which feels normal, actually even positive. I pause because before adding salt and pepper, there's something else to do. So, let's grab this beautiful toaster. This isn't an ad, okay? And let's heat up this bread here. Let's return to the eggs from Canal Marvin. Although it feels positive, it's just another stimulus. I can't stay in silence, not even now. There always needs to be something happening. I was here making my scrambled eggs and I had an idea. So many times, so many jokes about our dear Renato Cariani. He puts cream cheese in his eggs to make them creamy. I'm going to try it too and hope mine turn out creamy. I'll add a spoonful of cream cheese. This isn't about dopamine, I just want to add it, but you're serious. I'm listening to a little song by our dear Michael because I'm hyper-focused. Don't tell me you're not too, but it's been cool, okay? Because I'm really pumped up here, man. I'm making breakfast feeling like, a pop star. But pull the little arrow there, look.
Fato sobre você viciar em ouvir música em todo lugar.
Sometimes you don't even think about putting on music, you just do it, and you don't even notice when it becomes a habit, so it feels like everything needs music to be at least somewhat bearable, but it's pretty cool. I'm just here, look, ability. Currently for my breakfast, I'm trying to eat healthier. So what I'm eating, man, this is every day, okay? A banana. I make 2 pieces of toast, 3 eggs with salt and pepper, to make it more filling. And I do it like this, look. Here you go. It's harder to eat this way because the egg keeps falling, doing its little tricks. Damn. The eggs turned out really creamy, but I like them this way, man. They taste better. To finish off this breakfast here with 2 egg toasts, I like to have some coffee. And yes, it has to be in a mug that says gratitude, okay? If it doesn't say gratitude, I can't finish. But there's a catch, because usually I drink coffee without sugar. I quit that habit a long time ago. But some people think that sugar is only bad for your body, you know? Like for your blood, for gaining weight, stuff like that. But that's not it. Basically, it works as a stimulant. Sugar gives you a quick adrenaline spike, but it's usually followed by a crash. So when you eat something sugary, it first boosts you, then leaves you feeling drained. And then it ends up becoming an addiction, just like dopamine. You're experiencing an addiction, you're like this, then you stop and you deflate, then you say, I want more. So I put here, look, 2 fingers of coffee. Man, it's been a long time since I had anything with sugar. Aside from editing videos and occasionally eating junk food, I've been drinking coffee without sugar for about 4 years. It's a big change for me. It's cool because anything with sugar already tastes really sweet. So look, I'm going to pour it here, a mug. It's going to be 2 mugs of sugar right in the morning. Wow, Marvio, but then your healthy coffee with eggs doesn't make any difference, I know. But Brisa, here it's not like we're buying a cocina to have with coffee. It's really about seeing dopamine acting in my normal routine. So like, this is my normal breakfast. How am I going to add dopamine? I don't even think we should call it coffee here anymore. We should call it dopamine. Oh, and there's one more thing, okay? I'm not a guy who's super addicted to my phone and dopamine, but I know I have a serious problem with it. This messes with my memory in a way you can't even imagine. At least for me, man, I forget a lot of things. I lose track of a lot, and I've already missed quite a few appointments because of it. So I thought, well, if my phone is making me lose my memory, I'll be smart and use it to help me remember. So I decided to use this app here to help me remember all the tasks I have. Check out how easy it is. You click here and its interface looks just like a chat with GPT, an AI, but its purpose is to remind you of your appointments. So for example, I come here, I can type meeting tomorrow and send it to it. But to make it easier, I can just click on speak. Today I have a meeting 6 p.m. and then with the help of artificial intelligence, it will schedule your meeting for today at 6 p.m. ending at 7 p.m. reminder at 7:45 and then the meeting stays recorded in the chat. I can just enable the option to have it call me. 15 minutes before my appointment, Toko will call and remind me about it. And it even syncs with Google Calendar, iPhone Calendar, Outlook, and everything stays in the same place. The best part is that it's very easy to use. It's all conventional. Here you have the calendar. For those who want to try it out, I left a QR code here on the screen. It gives you a 60% discount on Talks Plus and Super plans. There's also a link in the description with the same discount. It's really worth it, guys. So if you're addicted to dopamine like me and you're forgetting everything in your life, try Talk, man. It's going to help you a lot. Remember, it's available for iPhone and Android. And to make our coffee even more stimulating, I'm going to watch a series, do these challenges, you know, so we can experience dopamine in real life. But it's never like that, man. It's never you making coffee slowly. Now I'm going to... No, usually it's always in a rush, you know, because you have to work, you have to do this or that. That's right, guys, this is my job. So these actions end up being more harmless. You say, I have 20 minutes for coffee before work so I can watch an episode real quick. You watch it fast and think it won't affect you. But that's really bad because it causes a desensitization of the receptors. I know that's a difficult word, but basically when you wake up and like I'm having breakfast here watching something, the TV, it gives off a lot of artificial color, a lot of light, and then you end up creating artificial dopamine spikes because dopamine isn't bad, you know? But you have to see if it's real dopamine or artificial. For example, if you go to a field, you have a beautiful view, that view that gives you, you know? You say, wow, that's when you're getting real dopamine, but here I'm feeding on artificial dopamine. So it ends up, man, messing up my whole brain. Besides, eating while watching something also distracts you from the food. And we don't really notice what we're eating. And since the stomach doesn't really understand it well, it makes you eat more. So it makes you hungrier and you end up eating more. So you're eating a lot, you're gaining weight. Is that it? Sometimes that's what it is. You know, sometimes it's not even you who wants it. It's because you're watching something. It's the fact that every time you watch something, you don't even see the food on your plate. You say, wow, did I already eat? Bring me 2 more to eat. I'm going to start a little series here on TV. And man, for those who want to know a little more about Marvin, about Marvin's channel, about my tastes, you know, I'm a huge fan and totally addicted to The Office. I've already finished it. And whenever I'm going to eat while watching something, I put it on. There's no way around it. If you've watched it, you know, it's the best series ever. Now, if you started the first season and stopped, what a shame, right? It's like that image of the guy digging. The diamond is right there. He says, oh, I didn't find anything, and that's how it is, right? Even though it's just a simple breakfast, there's already a lot happening. Sweet coffee, a show on, and I didn't think much about it. I just began stacking things together. Suddenly, you get a full dopamine stack while just eating breakfast and watching The Office. After coffee, I planned to shower, but ended up lying down and grabbing my phone instead. It's strange because I didn't plan this for the video, it just happened. I turned on the camera to see what would happen. Some studies also say that consuming more stimulation has effects. The harder it gets to do simple things, like taking a shower. And I'm a guy, I'll admit I don't have the perfect routine. So man, I've even watched Rio's taking a shower. I have to confess, for me that's actually normal, okay? Sometimes it happens and I say, whoa, hold on, I'm getting too addicted. And showering while getting a dopamine hit is something a lot of people do. And you think you're being productive, but you're not. You're just messing yourself up. Basically, we're going to watch a podcast. I really like podcasts, especially informational ones, things I want to learn, content creation, everything. So I'm going to put on a podcast here for me to watch. Obviously, it'll be good because I'll learn something. But we think I'm going to use all my free time to get information. No, life isn't like that either. In the shower, just shower in silence and relax. You can watch or listen to a podcast anytime, but the shower is the time for quiet. If you keep adding more and more things and taking silence out of your life, there will come a time, man, when your brain will be dripping out of your nose. And I think one of the biggest problems with this isn't even the fact that you're consuming content that adds something. For example, I'm going to keep watching a podcast I was watching, which is Backstage. I'm a big fan, But the fact is, when we're always consuming something, in everything we do during our day, whether it's at breakfast, in the shower, at work, always consuming something, we train our brain to believe that not listening to or watching something is wrong. And then when we have a moment of boredom or we're not doing anything, we start to think we're wrong, that we're not being productive, that we're not learning. It's like we're ChatGPT. That's it. I'm off to shower and watch a podcast. Nothing against it. I'm a big fan and it's my life goal to go there. Even though it's different from watching reels in the shower, listening to a podcast is funny because it seems better, but I didn't pay much attention. I think that because I was doing two things at the same time, my brain totally forgot what I was watching, and then I had to go back and watch it again because, man, my brain just erased it from my mind. Now it's time for us to work, right? We need to make money too. How my job makes it easy to get addicted to dopamine. I'm a video editor, so working on the computer is really easy. I'm going to put on a video on YouTube and listen to music on Spotify so I don't let my brain sit in silence. Not at all. I'm going to get some work done here, and that's the idea, to keep the music going constantly while I edit. Then I switch between listening to music and watching a podcast. It's funny because I'm a guy who's always been addicted to music. Everything I do involves music except when I need to do something creative. When I need to be creative, I stay silent so the best ideas come. But my whole life, I've always done everything with music, and I grew up believing I need music to clean my room, I need music to take a shower, I need music to drive. Man, that's really bad. Okay, music is nice to listen to, it gets you excited, but it triggers a reward, and then anything that requires deep focus and some boredom ends up feeling dull. In other words, life as it is ends up feeling boring, so you always end up putting something there to distract yourself, like music. Obviously, I'm not saying you can't listen to music, I'm also a big fan. But there are things you don't need it for, If you want to listen to music, enjoy the music, that's fine, but it doesn't have to be all the time, and the idea here is also to leave the Wi-Fi on and the notification volume high. So anyone who sends me a message will already distract me, will break my focus, and that's what we want. And the funny thing about this moment is that I was supposed to be working just fine, everything was okay. Music, video, but out of nowhere I was already holding my phone. I didn't even notice, and that's why it's strange, because the more you do this, the more your brain gets used to this level of stimulation. And then focusing on just one thing gets much harder, and something that boosts dopamine even more when I'm working is basically multitasking, doing several things at once. It fits exactly into the concept of short videos and long videos. So for example, I could very well get into the project work and create a well-crafted storyline. But the fact that I have my planner here to write down the things I need to do, it's also here on my phone, it's right here. Replying to emails and keeping multiple tabs open just makes us more addicted to dopamine. It feels like since I woke up, my brain has just accepted that's how things are. Sometimes it happens to you, I'm sure it happens to you. You wake up one day and you don't do anything, you just keep feeding your brain with dopamine, music, videos, movies, series, podcasts. Even if you do nothing all day, you'll still end up tired because your brain absorbs so much useless information, not even from studying or anything. Your brain absorbs so much info, but it never feels full. Have you seen that reel? Virginia cheated on Vinicius Jr. It's already in your mind. NASA launched a rocket. It's there. You keep adding more, and by day's end, you're mentally exhausted. It's crazy. It happens a lot that I'm editing, and because I'll admit it, okay, I'm kind of addicted to dopamine. Sometimes I get lost and then I get tired and I say, damn man, but all I did was cut the video, just edited like crazy. And this dopamine addiction, I realized it's not just a mental thing. It actually starts to affect real life. For example, this video I'm editing, I do it quickly in about 40 minutes. And I'd already been there for more than an hour and a half and hadn't made any progress. So I was holding my own life back because of this. Then it was time to work out. And working out was important these past few days because it gave me the idea for this video. About a week ago, I went to work out without pre-workout or coffee, and I forgot my headphones. It was a very different workout. Because ever since I started training, I've always trained either with headphones or drinking coffee or taking pre-workout. So I've always trained with music and pre-workout. It ends up being a constant stimulus because then the brain never stays quiet and needs stimulation to push itself. I realized that I was addicted to dopamine even during training. I never trained just to train. I always needed a stimulus like pre-workout coffee or music. My training was always intense, never quiet or without those boosts. And that's when I thought, man, do I really have discipline or did I just learn to depend completely on stimulation? So now I'm going to train with pre-workout and music. I'm using Flames from Soldiers as my fruit-flavored pre-workout. It has a smell, man. I have my shaker with 200 ml of cold water. I always take pre-workout with cold water. Hot water doesn't work. I've also changed something in my routine. Now, I'm at least trying to go to the gym after taking a shower. Wow, Marcos, you didn't shower before, that's not it. But sometimes I would wake up, do my stuff, and go train. Since I have curly hair, I used to always wear a cap, but I realized that if I keep wearing it and sweating every day, I'll be bald in 2 years. So I decided to stop even though it's annoying. Sometimes I just want to wake up and go train. I need to shower and use gel to care for it. It's a hassle, but I think I'll appreciate it later. So I decided to try not wearing a cap for now, not forever though. But I'm gonna try to cut back, I'll try to avoid it. If I can, I avoid it. Wow, this pre-workout here is going to be good, and now it's the best part of my day, okay? Because I work a lot at home, I work a lot on my computer, I'm more isolated from the world. When it's time to take my pre-workout, leave the house, train, and give it my all. And before training, I had to ask an experienced person. Experienced, what is dopamine? Alright, let's do a quick interview. What do you think about dopamine? Are you addicted to dopamine? I don't know what that is. It's addiction to social media, cell phones. Do you have it? No. When do you use your phone? Only in the morning. What do you use your phone for? To send messages. Send messages to whom? To my brothers. What kind of messages do you send? Good morning? Good morning?
Or tell the guys what dopamine is. Say what I told you. Say what I told you.
Money. My pre-workout routine always includes playing music in the car. It really helps. It is like a boost before the workout, but at the same time, it is one more stimulus in our day. I've already arrived at the gym, guys. I came here listening to some music, and I'm not obsessed with Michael Jackson, man. Stop saying that. Don't comment on that, for God's sake. Now I'm gonna train back, biceps and forearms. That's it. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling the pre-workout. It's been about 20 minutes. No, it's starting to kick in. Training, listening to music. I brought my headphones. For those who want to know, these are QCY headphones. It's the T13. I like it because it's small and discreet, just what I need. I'll share the link for anyone interested. At the gym, I put on my headphones first and play loud music, which is essential for my workout. And it works, because it gets me much more hyped. So, between sets, I grab my phone. And the worst part is, there's no reason for it. It's automatic, and it ends up becoming a loop. I go on Instagram, I go on WhatsApp, I go on TikTok, I check my email, and between sets, it's always the same thing. This starts creating a really weird pattern because your brain gets used to constant high stimulation all the time. There's even a study that says this kind of multitasking with technology creates a dopamine cycle. It's literally a reward for getting distracted, not for focusing. And then, when the day comes that you need to train, just train without music, without anything, it feels like something is missing. And the more you keep switching stimuli there, with music and social media, the less you can really lock into your workout. Because your attention gets completely stuck on the things you just saw. Instead of just exercising and counting, you're thinking about Virginia and Vinicius Jr. while training, so you're not fully focused. And the craziest thing for me is that this has become the new normal. If you look around at the gym, everyone has headphones on and everyone is on their phone. And that's when it stops being a choice and starts becoming a dependency. So a lot of people think this is discipline, routine, but in reality, you're just addicted to stimulation. The day they take away your music and phone, you can't even train properly. I finished my workout here, guys. Honestly, I trained pretty well. There's no way I could have trained badly, right? I took 300 milligrams of pre-workout. As soon as I finish training, I'm already eating my protein bar. Man, I always bring one. That's a tip for you guys. And as soon as I leave, man, to avoid catabolism and minimize muscle breakdown, I eat it right away. And if you're going to get one, the one I recommend the most is this one, okay? For me, this one's the Gucci of the bunch, guys. Since I took the pre-workout, obviously I was going to train well, I was pumped. But the phone really distracts me, so my mind ends up wandering a lot. When I mention the protein bar, it's not an ad. My car's turning into a mess with wrappers everywhere because I keep leaving them here. I really should start taking care of it. Act responsibly and maturely. After your workout, enjoy the dopamine boost. I'm not hyper-focused on Michael Jackson, and after crushing that workout, eat the protein bar right away. What do you guys think? And I'm going to have lunch. Today's lunch is rice, potatoes, and chicken. Watching something while eating creates overlapping stimulation. And along with everything else we're doing during the day, like listening to music, listening to podcasts, not getting bored, we end up making it harder for our brain to focus on just one thing. So every time I'm going to do something, my brain thinks, what can I do at the same time to be productive? So now I'm going to have lunch while watching a video. And it's the same concept as breakfast. The difference is that it's not on the TV, right? It's funny that nowadays, since everyone is so addicted to their phones, sometimes just watching a movie makes you feel productive. You say, no, I just watched a whole 2-hour movie without picking up my phone. I'm really productive. It's kind of the same thing. Obviously, TV is less intense, right? Not like social media, but it's the same thing, but I'm really tired, you know? Although it's different from television, the phone is similar. When it's time to eat, I grab my phone. It's something I always do. It's no longer about productivity, it's just automatic. The issue is, once you notice you can't even eat in peace, you always need something on the screen. And after we finish lunch, it's time to get back to work for a bit. I'm already here listening to the great Eu Vou Falar Uma Coisa Que Aconteceu, which wasn't supposed to happen. Normally, I write the video script in blocks, you know? I go to lunch, I do this during lunch on this dopamine challenge. After lunch, I get back to work, do this. Usually I was going from block to block. When one block ended, I'd already move on to the next. Workout, then lunch, then whatever comes next. Man, I had lunch, got here, and just zoned out. I even recorded a take with the camera, you know? Real quick, but man, I sat down here and just stayed on my phone, man. Totally addicted. And just to show you guys, look, today I've already had 5 hours of screen time, all right? 5.5 hours. So that's 1 hour on Instagram, 59 minutes on TikTok, 40 minutes on YouTube. It's crazy to think about that, right? I spent 5 hours on my phone. Imagine if you studied something for 5 hours every day. Imagine if I took keyboard lessons for 5 hours every day. In a month, I'd be a pro. If I keep this up for a month, my brain will melt. After a long time working, I finally finished the project, but it was like that until then. Music, phone, and losing focus all the time. And in the end, I wasn't feeling good. That's when something happened and I realized there was something wrong with me. I just experienced my first consequence of dopamine addiction. I'm not exaggerating or lying, this really happened. I stopped, thought, and wondered, is this it? Now I'll share it with you. Basically, I asked my brother to buy something for me online. I paid, but I asked him to buy it with his account because mine is having issues. This was today at 5 p.m. I said, look, I bought it, all good. He went there and bought it. I'm really curious and want to know when it will arrive since I asked for it to come tomorrow or the next day. I just went to talk to him now. I said, so what time is it going to ship? What's up? How is it going? How is it going? He said, man, calm down. He said it was the third time I'd asked. I paused and agreed, realizing I'd requested to buy it at 5 p.m. Now it's 7 at night, and I've already gone to his room 3 times to say, how's it going? Show me, let me see, let me see. He said, man, calm down, you're anxious, bro. I said, damn, man, now it makes sense. I found a study saying dopamine addiction is closely linked to anxiety. They go hand in hand. And it's even funny because if you notice in this video, every time my leg shows up, I'm shaking it, whether I'm working, standing still, or at the gym. So this search for constant stimulation is making me more anxious. In other words, it's not just about wanting more stimulation for no reason. I'm getting anxious, man. So for example, I made the purchase at 5 p.m. and I went 3 times. It's still only 7 p.m. Damn, guys, now things have really gotten crazy. I hope the challenge goes well tomorrow and I can clear my mind. I've already delivered everything needed. Maybe I'll even toss my phone to the neighbor. I work faster with my editing pack. Video editors, the links in the description. But I can't keep doing this for everything. Thanks. Sound-wise, I don't know why I keep wanting to put on music or a video. It's driving me crazy. My head is full of noise all the time and I'm always listening to something. Since I woke up, I haven't had a single silent moment today. It's been non-stop video or music. Seriously, my God. And I hope I didn't break the microphone just now, but man, as soon as I got back from the gym, I went straight to work because I had a deadline. I didn't take a shower, so I'm going to take one now because I'm... Wow, dopamine is powerful. To get even more hooked, instead of watching a podcast or video in the shower, I'll watch TikTok and Reels. I've done this a few times, which I'm not proud of. If you do this, no, it's not normal. Don't normalize it. That's it. Let's get the brain hooked some more now. Hey, I can't stand seeing Michael Jackson TikToks anymore. They're always showing up and I can't take it. And a hot shower is supposed to help you relax. It's supposed to be a peaceful moment. And even at the end of the day, I'm watching Reels, as if I needed one more little hit, one more bit of stimulation. It's when your body forgets how to rest and you always need to be doing something. And after the shower, I even had a plan to play a little to really relax, but I didn't even get to that. I lay down on the bed, grabbed my phone, and before I knew it, I was hooked again. Then I thought, no, I'm getting up and doing something. I went to the PC, but it was the same. I didn't do anything, work, rest, or play. And the weirdest part is that I didn't even turn on the camera, set up the tripod, or adjust the angle, nothing. I was already like this. I just decided to get up and turn it on to record this moment, and before I knew it, the day was over. And we get to the end of the day totally addicted to dopamine. Well, today I wasn't bored, not for a single moment. My mind was being stimulated all the time, whether by music, podcast, video, or work. To wrap up the day, there's nothing better than using your phone before bed. Turn off all the lights and just keep the TikTok screen right there blasting into your eyes. But the problem with all of this is that it keeps my mind racing. In other words, I'm going to have a harder time turning off my brain, which ends up being really important for sleeping. And now, let me tell you guys how I felt today. I admit that I don't have much of a headache. I had a bit earlier in the afternoon, but now it's gone. But I'm really tired, man, mentally, My body feels fine, but mentally I'm just out of patience for everything, man. And I think for me, the worst part was feeling really anxious for no reason. I'm showing you guys, look. Today I had a total of 7 hours of screen time. I know you'll see that on other days it's even more. For example, on Sunday it was 10 hours, but on Sunday, for example, I went to an event. So I filmed a lot of stuff. I was working, And secondly, I was also editing a lot of stuff on my phone. Today, the phone was really just used to waste my time. I didn't edit anything on my phone today. I didn't film anything with my phone. And just showing you guys how many times I opened apps that day, just to explain, that basically means opening an app once. So if I open Instagram once, that's one activation. Today in total, I had 150 app opens, so I opened Instagram 27 times today, just so you guys have an idea. In other words, I picked up my phone and opened Instagram 27 times for nothing. I wasn't searching for content, editing, or posting a story. It was just to waste time. But that's it. I think that's what I felt the most. It was actually a learning experience. For me, the issue with dopamine was wasting time that could be used for work, study, or real rest. I realized being addicted to dopamine also causes a lot of anxiety. You end up getting even more nervous than usual. To end the day, before going to sleep, I was still on my phone, as if it wasn't enough, even more stimulation, but that's it. The next day I woke up feeling terrible, tired, and without energy, as if I hadn't even rested. And now if this challenge was really worth it, don't try it, man, please.